Welcome guys to a new video, and we are here on a MotoGuzzi. What MotoGuzzi? A V85TT. The bike I wanted to test drive. Why? Because it has, let's say, a lifted boxer. Because it's not a fully boxer, it's a V2 engine, and it's out like a boxer, let's say. And why I wanted to test it? Because I never drove a MotoGuzzi and wanted to experience it with you. So put it on the camera and talk about it. So this bike is really new, it's really fresh. I'm the first one that is really driving it, and that's something I really respect. And I don't want to do crazy things with it or something like that, because we don't want to destroy anything, or that potentially someone that will buy it in the future will not have this good experience when something breaks because I didn't break it in correctly. So yeah, it's really windy here. Really windy here in the flat Austria area. So I hope my voice is correct and everything is correct. Let's talk. The TFT on this bike is an Aprilia. Why? Yeah, MotoGuzzi belongs to the Aprilia concern, so it's the same or one of the manufacturers, and they share just the screen, but the screen has some details here, maybe you see it a little bit, that are quite nice from in the background, where I say that's really nice. And yeah, then MotoGuzzi, then you have here a little bit like a screen protection for sun. I don't think you have problems to read it when the sun is shining from the back or something. It should be everything okay. What could be a little bit better is the windscreen. That could be a little bit move it or something, and we would have a better wind protection on this bike, because this is a touring bike, so people want to ride it longer distance. The engine has 75 horsepower, but it sounds not so much. But for me, the torque is that one that is really impressive, because the torque is from the lower RPMs there, and it pulls you. So it straighten up your hands. That's something really I was already discovering as I started to ride it. Yeah, clutch is something, it's normal, nothing really hard to pull or anything. The feedback is really nice, and then you have the screen where you have the RPMs going around the speedo and the gear that is in. Also, this bike has cruise control, of course. It's quite easy to set it up and turn it on. So then you have on the right side on the screen the max speed driven, average fuel, trip, blah blah blah. So everything you would want to see in a short period of time. And on the left corner you have the fuel range. So yeah, it's very windy. Now here in the city should be a little bit less wind and shouldn't be so noisy. The engine is quite nice from the sound also, and from the torque. So the torque is something really good, but yeah, it's a V2, so torque should be there. The gearbox is something I thought it will be more glimpsy, you know, like it's from the feedback and so on, I thought it will be more like a GS gearbox from the older GS, the air-cooled GSs or oil-cooled GSs, where the gearbox was from the feedback not so bad. Or why I thought so, because yeah, the engine is built and the gearbox is built and the clutch is built like on the GS, on the older ones, or on the R90s nowadays. And this is something I thought it will be here too, because yeah, from the build structure, and then also you have here a cardan, but I can say that's a little bit much smoother, because you have no like a play or something. It's like all the time traction there, and there is no free play in this whole drivetrain. So this gives a little bit a nice driving experience when you go cornering and you close the throttle and open the throttle. You don't have this slack like on the chain or something. This happens sometimes on a GS or something like that, or when you have a chain. But here I think that's quite nice made and really, really good. The design, yeah, the design is something where I say is not Italian standard. Let's call it maybe like that. It's on the front, the light is, I think, MotoGuzzi style. I would call it MotoGuzzi style, because maybe they will do soon a facelift of this bike, maybe, because I think it's overdue already. But it would be, because the headlight is, from my experience, a little bit old and boring to the whole bike that is delivering a lot. And then you have other MotoGuzzis that are quite interesting from the look and from how they build it. So this is also maybe something why in Austria you get this bike at 10,500 euros now, because there is an action, a sale, they say to me, and the bike is offered at 10,500 euros. So I can say that's a quite good price for this segment of bike. Yeah, I wouldn't compare it with a T7, because this bike is obviously not built for such a terrain off-road like the T7. So that's more a road bike. It's all gravel road, but not an off-road bike. This is something I don't feel here. It's something already also when I stand up on this bike. The stand-up position is really nice, and you sit here in the center, and it's good. I cannot complain, yeah. But my heels are hitting the footrest for the passenger, for example. Then the exhaust is on the left side disturbing me when I want to move back and forth. And the suspension is also something more road oriented. So I don't see this bike in a harder off-road or scene. So yeah, but it's still a nice bike, I can say. It's nothing is bad. The handlebar, the seating position, it's comfortable. The seat is comfortable. You can cruise with it. I think very comfortable. The engine is really nice. So I would say if someone is a road rider, then this is for sure a really nice mid-size bike for roads and have a nice look, let's say so. And you're an Italian guy, but I think that's not they will never, it's tricky to say because there will be comments saying I'm stupid, but I would say that they will never achieve that someone that has a KTM, for example 890 or something, that they will say I will go for the MotoGuzzi, because there is no reason for that for them, and the bike is completely different than other bikes. Like, I would say this bike competes in real with the old 850 GS, and then there is nothing, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't know anything else that would be in this range, because an 850 I would also say it's a boring bike. Let's talk about the handling of this bike. And yeah, it's stable, nothing wrong with it. You can go faster, but I wouldn't go so fast because the brakes didn't give me this aggressivity. Like, I think when you brake too much hard or too often harder, it will be maybe stopping you from having fun. So yeah, that's something I would say about the handling. Else, the motion of the handlebar, for example, so the steering angle, for example, that's something okay and very nice, so nothing to say. Here now in off-road, for example, also I can tell you it's the suspension is on the softer side, but you feel already that the bike is a little bit heavier than other mid-size bikes. How I feel that, how it is going over bumps and how it's handling in standing position compared to other bikes. So that's something I feel already. It feels more from the weight like a GS a little bit, but could be also a little bit of the suspension setup. I don't want to go faster here in the grass because it's a test bike, and I would need to pay for everything that is broken. And the tires are not really off-road. These are Aniki adventure tires, so 70/30, so gravel tires in real. But in this gravel, it's quite nice to just to ride and see how the bike is working. So yeah, this is the first 46 kilometers with the bike, and it's already in the gravel off-road grass section. So enjoying its life with me. I hope it enjoys it really, and not crying. But the engine is something you see. I'm the second gear, and if I give throttle, it's responding, it's working. So I know that here is a hole somewhere, but I don't know in which area. So yeah, what else? Let's have a look outside, I would say, because outside it's a different story, as I said in the beginning.